Hey guys, welcome back to my TBR game for the month of July. I'm very excited to be coming back for a second month to be playing this, but before we actually get into the game, I'm just going to kind of do some housekeeping about last month. I failed my June game. I didn't read all the books in it. I think I might have just squeezed past half, maybe. I think it was 9 books in total. Yeah, I didn't get to all of them. I did go away for 8 days, and I thought I'd have a lot more time to read on that holiday, but I did not. I ended up just spending so much time with my friends, so much time socialising, so much time out, I basically read nothing, which is fine. I had a really good time, so I don't really regret that, and I've really enjoyed myself. Also, like, the first book I read of the month took me like a week to read, and it was less than 300 pages. It was just, I should have DNF'd it. And I will in future know that to DNF, but it was one that came with a challenge of completing it in the first week to earn a reward, and so I really wanted that reward. So I pushed myself to complete it when I just wasn't enjoying it, wasn't vibing with it, should have completely given it up, should have read other stuff, because then like the book I read after that, I enjoyed so much more and had such a good time with. So that is a note for future. Just because I want the reward, don't push myself to read things that I'm not potentially going to enjoy. So anyway, yes, I did not complete my TBR game for June, and not that it really matters because I haven't won this game, but I have decided that the rewards are going to be basically just books, because I am on a book buy ban, so if I win games, I get books, and if I lose games, I potentially have to unhaul books if I don't read them. Although I might also unhaul it if I do read it, because I will be unhauling some of the books that I have read this month. Hello, Editing Nate here. I just wanted to pop in and say I have changed the rules, so I'm not going to now drag my TBR games over 2 months. I am just going to confine them to 1 month. It's less messy that way. I think it was a bit confusing in my head to try and like carry them on. I think it would also mean I would also constantly kind of be losing because I'd be trying to read the books from the previous month, then not finishing all the books up from the current month. So we've officially failed June. We're just going to leave that as June, and so I have decided that the punishments are going to be to pick a book from my standalone jar as an additional book to the TBR, and that book will be a read or unhaul. So if I don't read that book within the month, I will have to unhaul it. I didn't want to punish myself too hard because this, at the end of the day, is just for fun and to try and help me read my TBR, but I think this is a good way to try and do that, to push that. The book that I got was The Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy, so if I don't read this book in July, I have to unhaul it, but this book is not part of the game TBR, so I still can win the game TBR without reading this. But I am going to try and read this because I don't want to just unhaul it without reading it. Yeah, so that's the updated rules for the end. That's pretty much everything, I think. So yeah, let's get into the roles. I'm attempting to do this with 2 cameras this month because last month I didn't, and I kept having to move my camera for each role, so like the background kept changing. But this month we're using my phone. We're using my old phone to try and film. So let's go on to the first role and see what the board has in store for me for July. Okay, so for this month's TBR game, we're going to be using our little Donald Duck, Simpson. And we're using this grey glass dice that I got from Moreau, Italy, when I visited in April. So let's roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We have a double. So we have, the prompt is a book with a person on the cover, and the challenge is to read in 1 day and to get a Waterstones book. So let's pick a book. Okay, so for the first role we had, can you see those at all? Yeah, we had person on the cover with the challenge of reading it in 1 day and earning a Waterstones book. Now, I did think I could be really kind to myself for this and give myself a manga or a graphic novel, but I decided to actually try and challenge myself and to read Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. This is the 3rd book in the Percy Jackson series. I'm reading it with my sisters as part of a kind of like book club series read, and I haven't read the 3rd one yet. And one of my sisters has read them all, and one of my sisters only read the first one, so we're not doing very well at like cohesively reading them, like reading them at the same time. But yeah, I do really want to finish this series. This is also not huge. It's less than 300 pages, so it is doable for me to read in a day. It will just be like a whole day's worth of reading. But this is the first book that's going on the official TBR for the game of July. This series is about a boy named Percy. He finds out he is half god, and it's kind of just about his trials with different, like, Greek gods. I feel like most people know what this series is about. It has got a Disney Plus show coming maybe later this year, or is it next year? But I'm excited, and I really want to finish the series before watching that, and just kind of getting into the other stuff going on in this world. And I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, roll number 2. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a green. A short book. Lovely. So less than 300 pages. Okay, so our second prompt was a short book for less than 300 pages, and I decided to be not necessarily kind to myself because I put a classic on there. So I'm putting Wind in the Willows on there. I have a bunch of classics that I really want to work through, and I want to try and read at least 6 classics this month, this year, not this month, God. And most of the ones that I have read I've listened to, and they've mostly been Jane Austen. So I really want to try actually reading this. I really like this kind of the scholastic kind of classic style like this. The last one of this though I did read was Five Children in It, which I did not like at all, so I don't know how my experience with this is going to go. It is 220-ish pages, so it's not a lot, and yeah, I'm sure I could also find an audiobook for it to help me through it if I am struggling when I'm starting, but this is the next book on the TBR. I really don't know much about this story. I probably watched something of it when I was younger. I don't really remember it now though, so yeah, I'm going to go in pretty blind, but this is the next book on the TBR. Okay, let's go next row. 5. A purple, which is a spinner to pick our jar. So let's click on the jar. A series pick, okay. So for our next one, we got a jar pick, which was a series jar. So we have got our little series pot here. I'm going to give it a quick shuffle. And yeah, let's pick our book. I'm going to make sure I get one, because they do have a tendency to stick together. Okay. Oh no, see, that's 2. This is 1. What is it? Ah, it is City of Lost Souls, which I wouldn't be able to read, but I will pick the next one in that series. So the next book going on the TBR is City of Ash. This is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. I am currently reading City of Bones, which I'm really enjoying, so I'm not mad about this book going on here. From what I know so far about this series, it is about a girl named Clary. She sees these people that she isn't supposed to be able to see, called shadow hunters killing demons, and then she gets attacked by a demon, and I'm assuming at some point finds out she's got powers and gets taken in as a shadow hunter. Yeah, that's what I know so far from reading 5 chapters of the first book. But yeah, City of Ash, book 2. I'm excited to read this to carry on with the series. I know this is a very beloved series by a lot of people, so I am excited to carry on with it. Okay, row number 4. 2. Green. Paperback, nice and easy. So for our 4th roll, we got paperback, and so I thought I would be very kind to myself and give myself Heartstoppers Volume 1. I'm really excited about reading this. I really liked the Netflix series, and I know Season 2's coming out maybe this year some point, and so I think I would like to read the series before Season 2 does come out. I have the whole series, so yeah, this will be a nice short easy read, easy to do, and I'm really looking forward to it. It is basically a story of boy meets boy, boy becomes friends, and boys fall in love. I think most people on like the bookverse know what Heartstoppers is about, and a lot of people really like it, so I'm excited to read it. Okay, I think this is roll 5. 6, another jar pick. Another series. Okay, we got jar pick again, and we got another series, so let's pick. Let's try and get one bit of paper again. This one. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is 1. What is this? Oh, this is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Let me grab it. So the next pick from our jar is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have this copy, which I got in a charity shop for £1, and it's actually an unedited proof copy. So I don't have the rest of the series, so I will either buy them or get them from my library or something if I like the series. But yeah, this is book 1 in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. This is about a murdered girl, a closed case, and an A-grade student who won't let it go. It's literally all it says on the back. I've never read an unedited copy before, so it would be interesting to know if anyone that has experiences it, if this is to be likely very different from what was ended up being published, or it will probably just be like spelling corrections and stuff like that. But that's the next book on the TBR. I don't know much about it other than I'm assuming a high schooler, someone gets murdered and a high school girl decides to try and investigate it. That's the only thing I know about it. I know it's a trilogy. I know it's quite well loved, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So that's the next book on the TBR. So we have at least 2 more rolls. Let's see what we get. 1, which is a free pick. Lovely. I leave my free picks to the end, so let's go to the next roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have a red, which is not good. Let's do the green first. So I need to pick a book that is a crime detective book. And then what's the red going to be? Okay, over 700 pages. Now, okay, so I've decided that on these kind of double squares, if I can find a book that fits both, then I can do that. If I can't, I do have to pick 2. For this one, I can't fit this prompt. for one, so I am going to be picking 2 books. So for the crime detective book, we are going to be picking Moon Over Soho. This is the second book in the Peter Grant detective series, or the Rivers of London series. It follows a Metropolitan Police officer, Peter Grant, as he kind of ends up stumbling upon magic and ghosts and realizing he has magic, and he learns magic while also trying to figure out crimes and fight monsters, I guess. And then there are also these characters called the Rivers of London, who are like personified actual people, but they represent or embody the rivers in London. I read the first one of this ages ago, and I really enjoyed it. And then I reread it last year, and I enjoyed it again. So I do want to carry on with the series. I can get these as audiobooks as well, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, and then for the over 700 pages, I'm going to be kind-ish to myself, and I'm going to be picking The Clash of Kings, but I am already halfway through this book. So I'm already on page 427, and there's like 870. So I am halfway through this book, but the book is over 700 pages, so I am being kind to myself, although it does take me ages to get through because they are just quite dense. I don't have tons of options for books over 700 pages, so this is the one I'm going for. Slightly cheating, but that's fine. I did also get a free pick, which I will pick at the end of the game, so yeah, let's go through to what is going to be my last roll. Okay, our last roll, because I can't get any less than a 1, but I got exactly a 1, which is nice. So I have to pick all 3 of these. So let's pick the green first. So I have to have a horror or thriller book. God, I can't pick these up. That has less than 100 ratings, and I need to read it for 2 hours straight. So I genuinely have no idea if I'm going to find one of these on my TBR, so I might have to then read a random book. Okay, so we landed on the final square and have thus finished the game. So for the last square, as always, I picked 3. So I had a horror or thriller that had less than 100 ratings on Goodreads. I don't know why I'm showing you, you can't see any of these, they're so blown out. And then I got the challenge to read it for 2 hours straight and to get a works book as a reward. Now I wasn't sure if I would have a book that would fit this, but I went on to my Goodreads, and I do. The book is Closer to Me by Amanda Reynolds. She actually did a talk at my local Waterstone, so I went there. This is also apparently a major TV show. And yeah, this is a thriller, and it has like 16 ratings on Goodreads, so this fits perfectly. I'm assuming this is a thriller. So she can't remember the last year. Her husband wants to keep it that way. When Jo Harding falls down the stairs at home, she wakes up in a hospital with partial amnesia. She's lost a whole year of memories. A lot can happen in a year. Was Jo having an affair, lying to her family, starting a new life? She can't remember what she did or what happened the night she fell. But that's the beginning. But she's beginning to realise she might not be as good of a wife and mother as she thought. So yeah, this I think is a thriller. Goodreads doesn't actually show me that, but this just gives kind of thriller vibes. So this book fits all 3 of those prompts. So all I need to do is read it for 2 hours straight, and then I get that reward, which I think I will be able to do. Thrillers are quite good at like keeping me interested and like engaged for quite a long time. So that is the final square pick, and then I did still have my free pick, which I would pick at the end, as I always do, and I'm being very kind to myself with my free pick, and I'm picking volume 21 of Boys Over Flowers. This is a shoujo romance manga. This is volume 21, obviously, so a lot has happened, but it follows our main girl, Makino, and she joins, she's a poor girl, but she goes to this really elite rich school, and there are these group of boys called the F4 who are jerks, and it's kind of like a bully romance. It is very problematic, but I love it. It's one of the very first like shoujo animes I've really watched, like 15-ish years ago, 17-ish years ago, god, a long time ago, and it's just one of those ones I just really enjoy. I think it's really fun. This will take me like 40 minutes to read, if that, so it's a super easy read, and I'm really excited to actually carry on reading the series. That's the last of the book picks. So let's do a quick recap of all the books. These are not going to be in the order of which I pulled them, but we have Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. This was for the prompt person on the cover with the challenge of reading it in a day and getting a Waterstones book. We have City of Ashes, which was a series jar pick. Our free pick, which was Boys Over Flower volume 21. Another series jar pick, which was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Our prompt for paperback, which is Heartstoppers Volume 1. Our end spot pick, which was a thriller horror, less than 100 ratings, and I can read it. If I read this for 2 hours straight, I earn a works book. Then I have my danger prompt of a book over 700 pages. I put on Clash of Kings. I don't have 700 pages to read of it, but it is a chunky book, and so I'm kind of cheating for myself, but it's fine. For the other half of that was the crime or detective, so I have put on Moon Over Soho. And then lastly, for a short book, I have Wind in the Willows. So I do have 9 books again on the TBR for this month. I mean, I do have a graphic novel and a manga this time, which I did not last month, but yeah, This is the stack of books. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it, actually, to be honest, this month. I don't have really anything going on. Like, I'm just going to be working now throughout summer, trying to work on my animation skills, but overall just kind of working and just chilling. So yeah, so that is our TBR game for July. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I have picked, what you are going to be reading in July, what you're looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to, at the moment, carrying on with City of Bones and then reading City of Ashes. I'm really looking forward to reading Heartstopper. Carrying on with Percy Jackson. And yeah, I think there's a nice variety in here. I will hopefully, if I get a chance, I don't know if I'll get a chance, love to read more stuff. But yeah, I'm excited with my picks. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again hopefully soon.